Well, Carlos, thank you again for your time today. I appreciate it. You played both football and soccer in high school. What position did you play football?
Football, I played kicker, punter, and I was a slot receiver.
Okay. And then what did you play in what position did you play in soccer?
And in soccer, as far as high school or in college,
Well, high school for now. Yeah.
I was a holding midfielder.
Okay. Like I said, those it seems to those that skill set is kind of unique and kind of rare in some respects. What skills do you feel like you had to be able to play both those sports?
Well, first of all, at first I was a goalkeeper, so I was able to use my hands a lot, and I was really well with them. So I figured transitioning that skill into football and becoming not only just a kicker and punter, but playing the slot receiver helped me because I've played soccer since I was like 3 years old. I played goalie for since I was like at least a freshman in high school. So I had a couple years playing as a keeper. So I guess just the fact that I was good with the ball in my hands transitioned over to the football field.
Okay. And what kind of were the skills other than the hands skill? What were some of the skills that kind of correlated to both the sports?
I would say mainly just like the I guess the coordination, hand-eye coordination and being able to move, like how would I say, like catching the ball, being able to move like as in football, and then the same as in soccer. As a keeper, you can catch it and run out and do things, different options, and it's very similar, I would say, as far as thinking really quick, thinking really fast, being on your toes, being as far having reflexes, uh,
Okay.
transitioning from keeper and as a receiver.
Okay. And this is the last thing. You mentioned that now you play soccer in college. What position do you play for them, and how is that? And how is the your I guess the time in high school, just playing both those sports? How has that kind of helped you to continue your career in soccer?
First, I would say it's helped me grow as a player and as an individual. Being able to play both sports is it's something that not a lot of people can do. But I was able to be well in it enough to where I can play where I am now in college. And as far as right now, I play right back. I started off my freshman year as a keeper,
Hmm.
and then I moved from keeper to holding midfielder, and then from there I moved to right defender, right back now. I would say just being confident and knowing what I can do. Being able, like I was successful in high school, and that just carried over to college to where I am now.
Okay. Carlos, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
No problem.
Jose, thank you for your time today. I really appreciate it. Um, as you talked a little bit about, being a football player and being a soccer player, seems like that's rare. What are those skills that you kind of need for both sports to be able to compete at the varsity level?
Well, one of them is speed, because in soccer, like to juke someone and stuff like that, you need to have speed in order to like beat them, and in football as well.
Okay. Um, and obviously, it's you need to be very athletic to be to play both sports and everything. What are some of the things that you kind of do that kind of help you play both sports, athletic wise and things like that, or things that maybe you have learned how to do in the last couple of years?
I mean, I go run every day and stuff like that, so I can be skillful in both of them and like be good at them.
Okay. And just the last thing, is there anything that you do in football that kind of hinders you playing soccer and kind of vice versa?
Yeah, I mean, like doing weights and stuff, and like being able to feel the hits in football, and like they don't feel the same as in soccer, so because I'm tougher.
Yeah. All right, Jose, thank you for your time. I appreciate it. Well, Coach, thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it. You had mentioned that you were a two-sport athlete. You played football and soccer when you were in high school too. So you obviously have a lot of, I mean, you obviously have a lot of background with that. What are those type of skills that you kind of learned, and what are the skills you kind of look for in your players that could, potentially play both those sports?
I think the primary thing is whenever you start playing soccer, soccer is one of those sports you can start playing at an extremely young age, and allows you to develop as an athlete. Soccer is one of those sports where it involves a lot of running, but it's running with a lot of change of direction, acceleration, deceleration, and that is pretty much a great thing to develop at an early age as an athlete. Those type of muscle and those type of reactions when they're developed at a young age, it's something that really cannot be obtained at an older age as an athlete. So just being involved in soccer at an extremely young age, it just helps all these young athletes really develop and exceed in any sport later on in the future.
Okay, so you actually, it seems like to you, then soccer is kind of one of those important sports that kind of develop athletes no matter what sport they play, kind of down the road.
I do believe so. And I've spoken to different individuals, whether they're coaches or athletes themselves, and a lot of these great athletes, and I'm not just saying that you have to play soccer at a young age to be an amazing athlete. A lot of these individuals did participate or did play at an early age. They did play soccer at an early age, and that really has helped them develop as athletes. And it's gotten to the point. I was speaking to one of our coaches the other day that he was a standout basketball player, but I had no idea he had played at a very young age, played soccer at a very young age, and he just simply grew out of it because he's I guess he got too tall to play soccer and just pretty much focused on basketball. But it is one of those things that if you do play soccer, it does help you develop as an athlete.
Coach, as a soccer coach, you mentioned a lot of those skills kind of help on the soccer field. But what are some of those skills that you kind of feel like are they're important to a soccer player, but some maybe your athletes possess that allow them to do well in those other sports as well?
I guess the idea of being able to react quickly, there's certain things that an athlete can see, but when you accompany them with great footwork, it allows that person to read a play. And it's very similar in football and in soccer. If you can see something and react to it so much quicker than anybody else without having to process so much, that's the big difference between an amazing athlete and just an average player.
Okay.
You no longer read things, you just react to them.
Okay. All right, Coach. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
No problem.
All right, Coach Cantu, thank you very much for your time today. Again, I appreciate it. Just have a few questions for you as well. How many athletes have you coached that have played both football and soccer in your coaching career?
My coaching career of coaching football, there have to be about between 25 or 30 kids
Okay.
that have done both successfully.
Okay, so obviously not a lot, but it seems that's a very rare. It seems like that's a very rare combination to play both those sports, and it seems like I would guess the majority of those kids were probably kickers and the respect in that, but like I said, it seems so rare that why do you think it's a very rare for an athlete to play both those sports?
Well, that's a tough one. I think because it comes down to passion and what their heart's into, and they're both very demanding sports, and both you can make an argument for both of them being year-round sports, and obviously what I mean by that is soccer is just playing soccer year-round, and so a lot of times that playing year-round may conflict with football season. And in football, there's so much training that goes on year-round. There's so many camps now and strength training and so forth, where maybe that's why.
Okay, like they just kind of overlap too much in that respect.
It could be.
Okay, and then Coach, just to play both sports, it seems like you'd have to have kind of a unique set of skills. What skills do those athletes tend to possess to be able to do both sports?
Well, to do both sports successfully, you have to have incredible agility, quickness. What I like to talk about or bring in is fast twitch muscle, kids that are just good athletes. Just to give you an example, we have a guy who's going to be a junior, Abel Martinez, who's a defender, who's been a defender since he was a freshman on our varsity soccer team, but also plays in our secondary, and he has those kind of qualities. And I'm personally, as a football coach, it makes me happy that he's playing soccer because he's constantly developing those skills of defending people on the soccer field, which is extremely difficult. It takes a lot of quickness and speed and explosiveness, and the fact that he brings that for football season helps us a lot.
All right, Coach. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it.
You got it. You're welcome.